What's up, YouTube? T-Movies here with Netflix's new series, The Politician, out today, which I finished 3 episodes of that. Not that bad so far. I'm probably gonna try to finish the rest maybe today or tomorrow, probably. Anyway, since the show stars Oscar-winning actress Gwyneth Paltrow, I decided to go ahead and do my 10 favorite Gwyneth Paltrow movies. Because, Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't know why, but she gets so much hate for some reason. I can never really understand the hate she gets. But she's not that bad of an actress. I mean, she has an Oscar for a reason. She's that good of an actress. And she has a really good body of work. So that being said, here's my 10 favorite Gwyneth Paltrow movies. All right, coming in at number 10 is going to be Great Expectations, which is like a adaptation of the Charles Dickens tale, and was directed by Alfonso Cuarón, who also won for winning Best Director for Gravity and Roma. And the film takes place in the 1990s Manhattan, and it tells the stories of this orphan named Finn, played by Ethan Hawke, who reunites with Estella, played by Paltrow, whom that he knew for pretty much years ago in Florida, and they begin like a romantic fling. And Estella's devotion ends up remaining cloudy and all. And you also got Anne Bancroft is in this, Hank Azaria. You also had Robert De Niro, Chris Cooper, Kim Dickens. Some really good cast members were in this. And I really always liked the on-set chemistry with Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow. Those two play off each other well. They had great dialogue with one another. I mean, this is pretty much based on the Charles Dickens tale, but this is not like a period piece like the Charles Dickens one is. Kind of like with the Romeo and Juliet one with Leo DiCaprio. It's like a modern adaptation where it takes place in modern times. And yeah, Great Expectations is pretty decent. I mean, they've had other adaptations of Great Expectations a couple of years and all, but I think the Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow one is probably my favorite adaptation they had. So, all right, coming in at number 9 is going to be a film called Thanks for Sharing. Now, Thanks for Sharing stars Mark Ruffalo as this guy named Adam, who's this environmental consulate, who's pretty much is in like a rehab center, not for alcoholism. He's in a rehab center because he's a sex addict, and he ends up falling for another. He ends up falling for another sex addict who's played by Gwyneth Paltrow, and Tim Robbins is also a. It's also a sex addict too. So, and you also had Josh Gad. You even had Pink in this. I mean, Thanks for Sharing is a very underrated gem. I saw this movie about in I think 2012 or 2013, around those 2 years, and I really liked it. I found the movie to be really charming. I mean, it's Bruce Banner kind of going for Pepper Potts. That's that. I mean, Tony Stark would not like that one bit. But Thanks for Sharing. It's not just a movie about sex addiction and all that, but it's also kind of a movie about heart. It has laughs in it. Uh, all the cast had great chemistry with one another. I really quite got a kick out of the chemistry between Josh Gad and Pink. And I'm not gonna lie, after seeing Pink in this, I kind of wish she does more movies. She was actually not all that bad in this movie, in this film. All right. Coming in at number 8 is another adaptation of a literature classic, and that is the film Emma, which is based on the adaptation on the book by Jane Austen. And Emma, it stars Gwyneth Paltrow as Emma Woodhouse, who entertains herself by playing matchmaker for those around her. And her latest project is a character named Harriet Smith, who's like this unpretentious debonnaire, and Emma ends up receiving the attentions of this dashing guy named Frank Churchill, played by Ewan McGregor. And so Emma's attempts at matchmaking ends up causing more problems and all, and might end up jeopardizing her chance for love and happiness. I mean, I quite like Emma. Now there is another, there is a reboot of Emma, like a new adaptation of Emma coming out in February with Anna Joy. Cannot wait for that. But I quite like the one with Gwyneth Paltrow. I thought she was great in this. Ewan McGregor was terrific. It was a really interesting adaptation. I never really read the Emma book or anything, but the movie, with Gwyneth Paltrow, I thought was really decent. And if you guys haven't seen Gwyneth Paltrow's Emma film yet, go give it a go. Even if you haven't read any Jane Austen novels, I think you'll enjoy this one. It is pretty funny at times. It's very heartfelt, and also it's very charming. I mean, if you guys never seen Emma, give it a go. All right, coming in at number 7, I'm going with the Jack Black movie Shallow Hal. Now, this film is directed by the Farrelly brothers, who gave us stuff like Dumb and Dumber. There's Something About Mary. They did the Three Stooges. One of them just directed the Oscar-winning movie Green Book. So yeah, that's pretty cool right there. Anyway, in this film, Gwyneth Paltrow plays this woman named Rosemary, who's this obese woman whom Hal, played by Jack Black, is pretty much is falling for her. And so he ends up believing a woman's of Rosemary's size is very slender and is a knockout. And so but she ends up being crushed when Hal's him, because he ends up being hypnosed one moment and ends up believing that she's one of the beautiful things he ever seen. And so he pretty much pretty much sees Rosemary for the pretty much past the overweightness and appreciate her pretty much for what the woman she is inside. I mean, this is an interesting message here. Now, Gwyneth Paltrow actually had to use actually wore a fashion for this movie, and I thought she was really great here. Her on-screen romantic chemistry with Jack Black was really great to watch. Anyway, you also had George Costanza himself, Jason Alexander was in this. Really funny film. It was really cute. It was charming. Like I said, great message here. If you guys never seen Shallow Hal, directed by the Farrelly brothers with Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow, give Shallow Hal a go. It's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 6, I'm going with Shakespeare in Love. Now, lots of people probably say, wait, I thought you don't like Shakespeare in Love. I don't hate Shakespeare in Love. Shakespeare in Love is okay. The reason why I really don't like Shakespeare in Love is kind of unfair. The reason why I'm very negative towards Shakespeare in Love is because it won the Oscar over Saving Private Ryan. I still think Saving Private Ryan should have won the Oscar, but Shakespeare in Love is still a better film. But not better film, but it's still a good film. But of course, the Oscars, it's a better film. But I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought Shakespeare in Love was okay. I mean, it's not really I didn't think it should have won the Oscar that year. It's not even my top 10 favorite movies of that year, to be honest with you. But it's still pretty good. I mean, you got you had Joseph Fiennes from Handmaid's Tale fame, playing the role of William Shakespeare. You had Jeffrey Rush in this. You had Judi Dench. Gwyneth Paltrow played Shakespeare's lover, if you will. And this is the movie that won that actually ended up winning Paltrow her first ever Oscar. And Gwyneth Paltrow was great in this. I mean, she definitely deserved the Oscar. You know, she gave a. I think it's the best performance that. It's definitely the best performance she's ever given, in my opinion. And she was really great in this. Like her on-screen chemistry with Joseph Fiennes was great. Uh, anyway, sorry about that, guys. And you even, Ben Affleck was even in this too. So we had Bruce Wayne and Pepper Potts together. But yeah, Shakespeare in Love. I don't hate the movie. I just didn't think it should have won Best Picture, but still a decent film. So I guess it's all good, I guess. Anyway, my number 5 favorite Grant Paltrow movie is going to be the film Sylvia. Now, the film is about famed American poet named Sylvia Plath, played by Grant Paltrow, who also, and it pretty much showcases her relationship with this other writer named Ted Hughes, played wonderfully by Daniel Craig. I mean, Sylvia is a really nice little film. I mean, Grant Paltrow and Daniel Craig was both great. I mean, Daniel Craig has done great stuff outside of the Bond franchise. And, yeah, I thought he was really magnificent in this. And like, their chemistry was pretty good. I didn't know much about Sylvia before I saw this movie, but I thought Grant Paltrow really embodied the role of Sylvia well. Like, if you Google the actual Sylvia and if you Google Grant Paltrow, they kind of look a tad bit alike. So, great casting there. And the movie also does have some erotic flair in it, you know what I mean? I mean, if you guys never see Sylvia, it's another Grant Paltrow movie worth giving a shot. Alright, coming in at number 4 is going to the Wes Anderson film, the Royal Tenenbaums. Now, the Royal Tenenbaums had a great cast. You had Gene Hackman, Angelica Houston, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson. I mean, I could go on and on. Perfect cast. And of course, Paltrow was one of the cast members. And in it, Grant Paltrow plays the character of Margaret, who's like pretty much one of the three siblings in the film. And you got Gene Hackman as the father royal, while Angelica Houston plays their mother, Line, and she pretty much had just about had it with her husband, and like no wonder why and she ends up wondering, pretty much no wondering why these kids are like screwed up and all. So, but Patrick's character is an interesting character. Like she's a hoot. She pretty much portrays Margaret as like this woman who's like very bored. She knows life is like going down the drain and all. And it's a classic dysfunctional family film. Like I said, great cast. This is your typical Wes Anderson film. I mean, Wes Anderson's a kind of quirky director, and Royal Tenenbaums proved that. The movie is really funny. It's a great family. It's not really PG or anything, but I mean, it's a great film about family. I mean, if you guys ever seen the Royal Tenenbaums, it's a great one. They gotta do a sequel to this, by the way. All right, coming in at number 3 is going to be Country Strong. Now, this film stars Gwyneth Paltrow as this country singer who's pretty much like whose name is Kelly, and she's like this country star who has just gotten out of rehab for alcoholism, and her life ends up intersecting with those these aspiring country singers played by you've got Garrett Hedlund who plays the singer Bo, and you got like this up and coming singer named Chills played by Leighton Meester, who those two are kind of familiar with, and you also got Grant Paltrow trying to save her marriage to Tim McGraw's character. So it's a country music based movie, so obviously you're gonna get Tim McGraw in this. And Country Strong, I really love Country Strong. I'm not really the world's biggest country music guy. I mean, I like country music. Rascal Flatts I like. Tim McGraw makes some good stuff. I like Billy Ray Cyrus, but I was never really the world's biggest country music guy. But Country Strong had some great country-based music in it. Like, you got Leif Meester's song, forgot the actual name. It has Summer something. I can't remember the actual name. You have the title of the song Country Strong in it, which actually the title song of the movie actually scored an Oscar nomination for Best Original Song, and well deserved. Great song. I mean, great. I think Gwyneth Paltrow scored an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. If not, she deserved it because frankly, I thought Gwyneth Paltrow was terrific in this. I mean, her character is miserable, and at times she's not really that likable. But Paltrow just plays this role with such admissively. She really like the movie's not based on a true story, but it literally felt like it was based on a true story at times. But yeah, Country Strong is such a great one. All right, now coming in at number 2, I'm just going to say Gwyneth Paltrow playing Pepper Potts in the MCU, whether it's Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. She portrayed the roles in the recent Avengers films. She's been playing these Pepper Potts roles for years, ever since 2008's Iron Man. And her last Pepper Potts appearance was, of course, the big end scene in Endgame. And, superhero romance, I'm not all the world's biggest fans of superhero romance, but I will say, the romance between Tony Stark and Pepper Potts is magnificent. I mean, down the line, I'm probably going to do my 10 favorite romances in superhero movies, and Tony Stark and Pepper Potts is going to be in that list. Like, they have great on-screen chemistry, and their, interaction with one another is magnificent. I mean, of course, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark is great, and, it's crazy how she's been playing these roles for, years, and, well, since, if Robert Downey Jr. is not going to return for, Tony Stark, then I'm positive we're definitely not going to see Gwyneth Paltrow, because she did confirm that Endgame was her final appearance as a Pepper Potts, so maybe there's a miracle happen where Tony Stark ends up coming back somehow, and we'll see Pepper Potts once again, but anything's possible. Alright, my number 1 favorite Gwyneth Paltrow movie of all time goes to the talented Mr. Ripley. Directed by Anthony Minghella. I mean, it's, of course, a film adaptation of Patricia I. Smith's thriller where Gwyneth Paltrow plays the character of Marge Sherwood, who's like the fiance of this playboy named Dickie Greenleaf, played by Jude Law, and the man of and you got Matt Damon as Tim Ripley, who has been hired to bring pretty much bring back to America after after Dixie's romantic or Italy, and you got and Ripley is this con artist who pretty much ends up working his way into the confidences of wealthy people and all, and he also has no hesitancy to murder to those who knows his dark secret. Anyway, yeah, Talented Mr. Ripley. I never read the book. I never read the Patricia Smith book. But the Talented Mr. Ripley movie with Matt Damon, Jude Law, Kate Blanchett, Philip Seymour Hoffman is terrific. Great performances all around by Paltrow, Damon, Law. It's a really insane movie too. And this movie actually, there were also saying that this movie actually caused real life crimes to happen in real life, which sometimes I don't believe that, but I mean, like I said, movie like I've always been saying, movies don't cause crimes. I mean, that's whatever. Anyway, Talented Miss Ripley. There's actually doing like a new version. It was announced that Fleabag dude, Andrew Scott, is going to be in the Talented Mr. Ripley show, which I don't know if another adaptation is going to be as good as the Gwyneth Paltrow one, but still, I think Talented Mr. Ripley is definitely Gwyneth Paltrow's best work. I think it's better than Shakespeare in Love. I think it's a tad bit. It's actually a little better than Iron Man and all that. I mean, it's a great one. If you guys never seen Talented Mr. Ripley by now, go check out Talented Mr. Ripley. It's a really good one. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Great Expectations. 9. Thanks for Sharing. 8. Emma. 7. Shallow Hal. 6. Shakespeare in Love. 5. Sylvia. 4. The Royal Tenenbaums. 3. Country Strong. 2. Iron Man. 1. The Talented Mr. Ripley. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added. Let's see. Oh, yeah, 7 with Brad Pitt. I mean, I can't believe I forgot to add 7. There's also Sliding Doors was pretty good. There was A Perfect Murder with Michael Douglas. That's a good one. View from the Top. Mordecai sucks, so that's definitely not going to be on my list. Contagion. That was pretty good. She was in Hook. I always keep forgetting she was in Hook. She was in Hard 8. She was in Sky Captain, which I never care much for. She was in Duets. Proof. Oh yeah, Duets was actually directed by her dad. And she's also the daughter of Blythe Danner. I always keep forgetting that. Of course, there was the Pell Bearer, Infamous. She's been, the Anniversary Party. She's been in some really cool stuff over the years. And yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's a great actress. I mean, she has an Oscar for a reason. So, and her new show, The Politician. 3 episodes in, it's not that bad of a show. So, anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Gwyneth Paltrow movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This here, See Movie sign off.